So many leaders talk about culture, but very few are able to make it stick. You've done all the hard work, you've diagnosed the blockers, you've aligned your culture to your business goals, you've overcome some pushback and gained buy-in. But if culture doesn't show up in the day-to-day, it will fade and fade fast. I'm Sharon, the Culture Catalyst, and I help leaders say what they mean what they say, and create teams that no one wants to escape from. This is step 4 of the Culture Shift Blueprint, Embed, and it's my favourite part. This is the step where theory becomes reality. Here's one thing I want you to remember. Culture lives in how people behave. It's in what gets rewarded, what gets ignored, and what becomes the norm. You can't just train culture in a day. It's not about sending everybody off on an off-site or a particular training workshop. You have to build it through continuous action. Embed is the difference between a nice sounding plan and a high performance values driven team. I've got some great tools for you, and the first is the 3 R's. So let's talk about rituals, routines, and reinforcement. Rituals are the symbolic acts that show what matters in your business. Like starting every team meeting with a story about how somebody has been living the values. Second are routines. These are the consistent, repeatable habits that take place in your business. Think about things like your onboarding routine, the way you run your performance reviews, how you tune in, listen, and respond to feedback. Reinforcement. What gets rewarded will get repeated. If you say that collaboration matters, make sure that your bonuses, your shout outs, and how you promote people reinforces this and reflects what your culture is about. This is about you not just saying it, it's about you showing it. And that has to happen daily, weekly, monthly, annually, regularly. The second tactic I want you to use is a behavioural check-in. This is where you really honestly ask yourself and your leadership team, are the behaviours we're displaying in our business aligned with our intended culture? Where are the gaps? Where are those old habits creeping back in? Get feedback from across your business. Get feedback from the floor, not just from your senior people. You've got to really closely listen to the signals. Look for the patterns. Watch out for any drift back to old behaviours, and make sure you're closing the loop and sharing the information that you found with the rest of your team. Because just like going to the gym, culture is a bit like fitness. You need to practice it regularly in order to maintain it. If you don't practice it daily, it weakens. The third thing I need you to think about is enabling your managers. They are the crucial part in terms of living and breathing your culture. Here's where a lot of culture change falls apart, because managers are just not equipped to deliver it. They're overwhelmed most of the time, they're undertrained, and they don't always know or feel that like they have the permission to model what the shift you're trying to make is all about. You have to give them the tools. If it's about developing scripts that they can follow when they're having their one-to-ones, if it's about building confidence, practice, role play, make sure they feel comfortable and capable to deliver the shift in culture that you're looking for. Help them to lead from where they are. It's not always about the boardroom. This is about middle management and the first line of management that help move things forward for you. Culture should not live in a policy. It lives in every single team meeting, every single one-to-one, and especially the decisions that are made by managers when they're under pressure. And in that way, managers can either help you scale that culture shift or stall it. Next, I want to do a systems check. Ask, are your systems helping or hurting your culture? This is about checking things like your hiring process. What happens from attracting people into your organization, to recruitment, to onboarding, through every single touch point of the life cycle. Even when they exit your business, how does your culture show up? What's that experience like? What is the reward and recognition approach? How does that reflect the culture that you're looking for? How do you communicate internally? Are you overwhelming people with tons of messages every single day? Are you in a communications void? Is it just a big blast every now and again and you think that everybody will cope with that? How do you manage performance? Are your people being managed in a way that makes them feel stretched, makes them feel challenged, but also makes them feel supported? What parts of your culture show up in how your managers are actually coaching and leading your teams? Do these systems reflect your values? Or, if you're honest, are they contradicting them at some points? As a business, you can't say you value something like innovation if you start to punish people who are taking risks, who are making mistakes. It doesn't align. Your culture needs system support. Otherwise, it will most definitely collapse under all the business as usual stuff that people get distracted with every day. Let's talk about the flywheel effect. When you embed your culture properly, you create a flywheel. And what I mean by that, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more people that see your culture, the more people will believe it, the more people will act on it, and the more others will follow. It starts small, like a little snowball, and then builds momentum as it rolls down the hill and shifts. This is what sustainable culture looks like. No posters, no gimmicks, just consistent behaviours that are aligned with business outcomes. Really quickly, from 25 years experience, I just want to give you a few watch outs. Here's my what not to do list. Don't assume that one training session is enough. You have to repeat, you have to reinforce, you have to do this consistently. Don't rely on a quarterly town hall to bring this to life. That kind of one-off communications intervention is not going to deliver what you need. Don't expect people to remember the values. If you've got 3 words and it's really simple, they might do. That's not what it's about. It's not just about remembering the values. It's about taking action. So they'll need those action prompts and they'll need them regularly. And that can come from you role modeling and showing people what it means. So let's do a quick recap. Use the 3 R's: rituals, routines, reinforcement. Run a behavioral check. Make sure what you're doing lines up with what you're saying. Enable and empower your managers. Make sure they're confident, they're capable, and they've got the skills to show up and make this real in your business. And review your systems. You might need to make changes and tweak things because you want to make sure that what you are doing and the experience of being part of your organization completely reflects the culture that you're trying to create. Remember, culture doesn't stick by accident, it sticks by design and strategy. If you want to see this phase in action with real tools that work and templates that you can implement today, then click the link to get access to my 1-hour free training webinar. And let's not forget, embedding culture is what separates good teams from great teams, and you're building a great team. Next time, we're going to pull this all together and talk about step 5 of the Culture Shift Blueprint, planning. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with anyone you think will find it useful. See you next time.